Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great anticipation and hope that we come together today to reflect on a powerful cry from the heart, Lord, take me to higher ground. What does it mean to be elevated, to be lifted beyond where we stand today? It means that there is more to us than what meets the eye. Our current place is not the place of our destiny. We are created with an inherent desire for progress, for growth, for greatness. But this growth is not a product of our own striving alone. No, it requires divine intervention. It requires the hand of God to take us higher. Too often, we live under the weight of our circumstances. We are confined by our fears, by doubts, by limitations that others have placed upon us or that we have placed upon ourselves. We settle for mediocrity because we cannot see beyond the obstacles in front of us. But I urge you, my brothers and sisters, that there is a higher ground waiting for you. It is a place of vision, a place of victory, a place of purpose. But we must be willing to reach for it. We all have a deep, innate yearning for growth, progress, and reaching beyond where we are right now. This desire is embedded within us from the moment we are born, and it's not just about material success or worldly recognition. It's about fulfilling our true potential, tapping into the fullness of who we are, and stepping into the greatness that we were created for. Too often, we limit ourselves to the boundaries of our current circumstances, thinking that what we see now is all we will ever be. But there is more. We are not simply meant to exist or get by. We are meant to evolve, to ascend, to become more than what we currently are. However, this journey toward elevation and fulfillment is not one we can accomplish on our own. While we can make efforts toward personal growth, working on our skills, mindset, and experiences, it is through divine intervention that we are able to truly rise above the confines of our limitations. The potential within us can only be unlocked by something greater than our own strength or abilities. It is in connection with a higher power, in alignment with divine purpose, that we begin to see the doors open, the pathways reveal themselves, and the opportunities unfold in ways we couldn't have anticipated. God, in His infinite wisdom, created us with both the capacity and the calling to rise higher. He made us for something greater than just the present moment, greater than what is in front of us. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that what we're currently experiencing is all that there is. We get caught up in our daily routines, our struggles, and our disappointments. We see the challenges and hardships as unchangeable truths, and we start to believe that we are bound by them. But if we take a moment to reflect, we realize that this is not all there is for us. There's a higher ground waiting for us, a place where we are no longer defined by our limitations, but by the infinite possibilities that God has already prepared for us. This desire for elevation goes beyond ambition or personal success. It's about becoming who we were always meant to be. It's about answering the call of something higher than ourselves. We are called to elevate our minds, our hearts, and our spirits, to rise to a place where we can see more clearly, think more deeply, and live more purposefully. Higher ground represents not just physical elevation, but a shift in how we approach life itself, a transformation of mindset, perspective, and direction. It means moving beyond the familiar patterns of behavior and thought that have kept us tethered to mediocrity and stepping into the fullness of God's plan for our lives. It's important to recognize that this journey to higher ground is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process of growth and evolution. Every step toward this higher place is a step of faith, trust, and perseverance. Along the way, there will be challenges, obstacles, and setbacks. But it is through these challenges that we are refined and prepared for the higher ground that awaits us. Growth doesn't happen without effort. And we must be willing to put in the work, trust in the process, and rely on God's guidance to carry us. In the quest for higher ground, there is a deep sense of purpose that transcends any fleeting goal or desire. The purpose is to fulfill the potential within us that has been placed there by the Creator. To rise higher is to acknowledge that we are not limited by our past mistakes, by the opinions of others, or by the restrictions of this world. We are meant to overcome these limitations and ascend to a place of vision, clarity, and divine purpose. The desire for higher ground is about living a life that reflects the greatness of the Creator within us. It's about using our gifts and abilities to make an impact, to influence those around us, and to walk in alignment with our true purpose. The higher we rise, the more we can see, and the greater our capacity to help others along their own journey. Reaching higher ground is not just about us, it's about the legacy we leave, the difference we make, and the purpose we fulfill as we grow into the people we were always meant to be. We often find ourselves living within the confines of our current circumstances, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the present moment is all we will ever know. The challenges we face, the problems that seem to persist, and the struggles that appear endless can make us feel like we are stuck in a cycle, unable to move forward. We become so accustomed to the routine of life that we forget there is something more waiting for us just beyond our reach. It is at these moments when we are entrenched in the now that we must remind ourselves that our present situation is not the place we are destined to stay. The idea that there is a higher place for us is one that transcends our current limitations. It speaks to the potential within us, to the fact that God has set a path before us that leads to something greater. Our lives are not meant to be confined to the struggles and setbacks of today. They are meant to reach for the possibilities of tomorrow. When we look at where we are now, it's important to recognize that it is simply a stepping stone to something bigger, a temporary phase on the way to a much grander destiny. Our circumstances often give us a narrow perspective of what life could be. We become so focused on the obstacles, the difficulties, and the challenges that we fail to see the broader picture. The world around us may tell us that what we see now is all we will ever have, that the walls we are facing are insurmountable and the road ahead is blocked. But we must reject this mindset because God's plan for us is much bigger than what we can currently perceive. He has prepared a place for us that is beyond the limitations of our present reality. A place where we are no longer hindered by the weight of our struggles. The temptation is to settle for the present, to become complacent in our discomfort because it is familiar. We might think that it's easier to remain where we are than to take the leap towards something unknown. But this is where faith comes in. Faith is the bridge between where we are and where we are meant to go. It allows us to believe in the unseen and to trust that the path to higher ground is not just a distant dream, but a very real and tangible possibility. Without faith, we would remain bound to the familiar, stuck in a place of mediocrity and limitation. Stepping into something greater requires us to let go of the mindset that keeps us bound to our present situation. We must stop seeing our current challenges as permanent roadblocks and start viewing them as opportunities for growth. Every difficulty we face is an invitation to rise above, to see beyond the problem, and to trust that there is a way forward. It is through these challenges that God refines us, stretches our faith, and prepares us for the higher ground He has promised. These obstacles are not the end, they are part of the process that leads to greater things. When we begin to recognize that our present circumstances are not where we are meant to remain, it opens up a world of possibilities. We can start to envision a life of purpose, a life where our potential is fully realized and our destiny unfolds before us. God has already set the stage for us to rise, and He is with us every step of the way. The higher ground is not reserved for a select few. It is available to all who are willing to trust in Him, to let go of their limited thinking, and to step into the fullness of the life He has prepared. So while we may find ourselves in the midst of difficult situations, we must always keep in mind that these circumstances do not define us. They are merely the foundation upon which we will build something greater. Our destination is not determined by our present struggles, but by the faith we place in God's promises. And as we shift our perspective and begin to look beyond the now, we will discover that the higher ground is waiting for us, ready to be claimed by those who are bold enough to believe that there is more to life than what they see today. The journey to higher ground may not be easy, But it is a journey worth taking because it leads us to the place where our true potential is realized and our purpose fulfilled. It is easy to become trapped by the limitations we perceive in our lives, whether they are physical, emotional, or mental. Often we look at our present circumstances and feel that they define us, and struggles and setbacks we face are too great to overcome. These limitations can feel like walls that confine us, making it difficult to imagine a life beyond them. We become trapped by our fears, doubts, and insecurities, believing that what we see now is all that we can ever expect. But the truth is, these limitations do not have to be our final destination. They are not our identity. They are simply the challenges we must overcome on our journey to something greater. We often allow these perceived limitations to dictate our choices, our actions, and our future. We begin to define ourselves by our failures or by the expectations others place on us. We may feel that our mistakes from the past, our present struggles, or the voices of negativity around us are permanent factors in our lives. But this is a false narrative. We must remember that limitations are not the defining factors of who we are. They are temporary obstacles, and they do not have the power to determine our destiny unless we allow them to. One of the greatest challenges is learning to shift our mindset from seeing limitations as permanent to viewing them as stepping stones. Every obstacle we encounter can serve as a lesson, a way to refine our character, and an opportunity for growth. Instead of seeing limitations as barriers, we can choose to see them as opportunities to build strength, resilience, and faith. When we face challenges, we often have two choices. We can either accept defeat and remain in our current state, or we can rise above and reach for something greater. The choice is ours. One of the most powerful forces that can help us rise above these limitations is our mindset. Our thoughts shape our reality. And when we choose to focus on the possibilities instead of the barriers, we begin to see new opportunities for growth. The power of positive thinking and faith cannot be underestimated. The Bible tells us that with faith we can move mountains. If we believe that we are capable of overcoming our limitations and rising above our circumstances, then we will find the strength to do so. Faith allows us to see beyond the present moment and envision the future that God has prepared for us, a future filled with purpose, potential, and promise. It is important to recognize that faith is not just about hoping for something better. It is about taking action in alignment with what we believe. True faith requires movement. It requires stepping out in trust, even when we cannot see the entire path ahead. It means pushing past the fear of failure and the uncertainty of what lies ahead. It means refusing to let our present struggles define us and instead choosing to believe that God has a greater plan for our lives, one that is not bound by the limitations of the present. As we shift our perspective and begin to see our limitations as opportunities for growth, we start to build the resilience necessary to face even greater challenges. These challenges are not meant to break us. They are meant to prepare us for something greater. Every setback, every obstacle, every moment of doubt is an invitation to rise, to strengthen our faith, and to grow into the person we are meant to be. And with each victory over our limitations, we move closer to the higher ground that awaits us. The journey to overcoming limitations is not easy, but it is worth every step. When we refuse to let our circumstances define us, when we choose to see beyond our limitations, we unlock the door to greater possibilities. God has placed within each of us the ability to transcend the barriers we face. Our limitations are not the end of our story. They are merely a chapter in a much greater narrative. When we align ourselves with God's purpose for our lives, we find that the limitations we once saw as walls are merely stepping stones toward the higher ground He has prepared for us. It is through overcoming these limitations that we become the people we were always meant to be. To reach higher ground, one of the most crucial elements is a shift in perspective. It's not enough to simply desire change. We must first change the way we see ourselves and the world around us. Our perspectives shape how we approach life, how we respond to challenges, and how we navigate through obstacles. If we continue to view the world from a limited or constricted perspective, we will remain trapped in the same cycles, unable to rise above our circumstances. To move to higher ground, we must look at everything through a different lens, a lens of possibility, faith, and divine purpose. A shift in perspective begins with the recognition that our current viewpoint may not be the full picture. Often we become so focused on our immediate circumstances, our problems, our struggles, our setbacks, that we lose sight of the bigger picture. Our view becomes clouded by fear, doubt, and the weight of our present situation. We may see ourselves as small or insignificant, unable to accomplish the things we dream of. But this view is incomplete. The higher ground is a place of broader vision where we can see beyond the obstacles in front of us and begin to understand the full scope of what is possible. Faith is the key that unlocks this broader vision. It is through faith that we can look beyond the immediate challenges and see the promise of a better future. Faith allows us to see beyond what is visible to the natural eye. It opens our hearts and minds to the reality that God has prepared something greater for us, even if we can't see it yet. With faith, we can begin to envision the possibilities that lie ahead, possibilities that transcend the limitations of our present circumstances. This new perspective enables us to rise above the immediate difficulties and focus on the long-term vision that God has set before us. Changing our perspective also means learning to see our challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Every difficulty we encounter can be a stepping stone, a chance to develop the strength, patience, and resilience needed to reach higher ground. Instead of being defeated by setbacks, we can view them as part of the process that prepares us for greater things. Each challenge is an opportunity to refine our character, deepen our faith, and strengthen our resolve. When we change our perspective, we no longer see ourselves as victims of our circumstances, but as active participants in our journey toward higher ground. This shift in perspective also involves moving away from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that resources, opportunities, and success are limited. We see the world through a lens of lack, believing that if others succeed, there's less success available for us. But when we adopt the perspective of abundance, we begin to realize that God's provision is limitless. There is more than enough for everyone, and there is more than enough for us to accomplish everything He has placed in our hearts. This mindset opens the doors to new opportunities and allows us to see the abundance that surrounds us, even when it seems invisible to others. A shift in perspective also requires us to let go of the fears and doubts that hold us back. Fear often clouds our vision and distorts our understanding of what is possible. When we are afraid, we see only the risks, the dangers, and the potential for failure. But faith helps us to overcome fear by focusing on the promises of God and His ability to lead us through every trial. When we let go of fear and embrace faith, we can see the opportunities that lie beyond our current situation. We begin to understand that God is with us every step of the way, and that with Him there is no limit to what we can achieve. A shift in perspective means aligning our vision with God's purpose for our lives. The higher ground is not just about personal success or elevation. It's about fulfilling the divine calling on our lives. When we see ourselves as part of a greater purpose, our vision expands beyond ourselves. We begin to understand that our success is not just for our own benefit, it is for the benefit of others, for the fulfillment of God's greater plan. As we align ourselves with this purpose, our perspective shifts from one of self-centeredness to one of service, from striving for personal gain to pursuing a greater, more impactful goal. The journey to higher ground requires more than just physical effort or external change. It requires an internal shift in how we see the world and our place in it. By changing our perspective, seen through the lens of faith, abundance, and divine purpose, we can rise above our circumstances and move toward the greater destiny that awaits us. It is only by seeing the world differently that we can truly move higher. The higher ground is not just a destination, it is a way of thinking, a way of living, and a way of believing that leads us into the fullness of God's plan for our lives. To reach higher ground, one must experience a shift in perspective, but even more importantly, it takes a shift in mindset. Moving to a higher place spiritually, mentally, or emotionally requires us to step into a new way of thinking, a way of thinking that aligns with divine purpose, faith, and courage. It's one thing to know that there is a higher ground waiting for us, but it is another thing entirely to develop the mindset necessary to reach it. Changing our mindset is not about altering who we are, but about unlocking the potential that already exists within us. A transformed mindset is one that looks beyond the surface, one that refuses to settle for mediocrity, and one that embraces growth even when it's uncomfortable or unfamiliar. A mindset of growth is key to moving beyond the limitations we often place on ourselves. In our current state, we might see only the difficulties, the barriers, and the obstacles that stand in our way. But with a growth mindset, we learn to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth and development. Instead of allowing difficulties to discourage us, we embrace them as tools for building the character, strength, and resilience needed to rise higher. This mindset transformation doesn't come overnight. It's a process that requires time, effort, and a deep faith that the challenges we face will not define us, but refine us. Part of shifting to this mindset is learning to embrace discomfort. Higher ground is not a place of ease or complacency. It is a place where growth happens, and growth often happens outside of our comfort zones. To reach higher ground, we must be willing to push beyond what feels comfortable and familiar. We must take risks, make sacrifices, and step into the unknown, trusting that God will lead us. It's not always easy to embrace change or to face the fear of failure, but the rewards of growth far outweigh the temporary discomforts we might experience. It's through discomfort that we are stretched, that we become stronger, and that we develop the capacity to handle the greater blessings and responsibilities that come with higher ground. At the heart of a transformed mindset is the belief that we are capable of achieving great things. Many of us struggle with self-doubt and insecurity, questioning whether we are worthy of higher ground. But reaching for something greater requires a deep belief in our own potential, belief that we are created for a higher purpose and that we are equipped with everything we need to fulfill it. It's easy to look at our circumstances and believe that we are not qualified, that we are too broken, or that we are too far gone to reach for something higher. But this kind of thinking keeps us stuck in the same place, unable to move forward. A mindset of faith, however, understands that God does not call the equipped, He equips the called. When we embrace the mindset of possibility, we recognize that God has already placed within us everything we need to achieve what He has set before us. In addition to believing in our own potential, a transformed mindset also requires a commitment to discipline. Higher ground is not a destination we reach by chance. It is a place that requires deliberate effort, perseverance, and consistency. Discipline in our thoughts, actions, and choices is essential for moving higher. We must discipline ourselves to think positively, to stay focused on our goals, and to act in alignment with the purpose God has given us. This discipline isn't about rigid rules or perfection. It's about consistently choosing to make decisions that will lead us toward the life we were meant to live. It's about building habits that support our growth and continually pressing forward, even when the road is difficult. A shift in mindset involves learning to trust the process. We may not always understand why things are happening or why we are going through certain struggles. But when we trust in the process, we allow God to work in us, through us, and for us. Trust in the process means believing that even in the midst of difficulty, we are being shaped and prepared for the higher ground that awaits us. It means trusting that every setback, every challenge, and every disappointment is part of a divine plan that is working together for our good. This trust gives us the resilience to keep going when things get tough, knowing that our faithfulness will eventually lead to a breakthrough. The journey to higher ground is one that begins with a transformation of the mind. To reach greater heights, we must cultivate a mindset of growth, faith, discipline, and trust. We must be willing to embrace discomfort, step out of our comfort zones, and believe in the potential God has placed within us. It is through a transformed mindset that we are able to move beyond our limitations, rise above our circumstances, and achieve the fullness of the life God has intended for us. The higher ground is not for the passive or the complacent. It is for those who are willing to think differently, act with purpose, and trust in the process of growth and transformation. The journey to higher ground is not one that happens overnight, nor is it a path without difficulty. One of the most essential elements of this journey is perseverance. To ascend to higher ground, to achieve a life of purpose and fulfillment, we must be willing to press on, even when the road is hard and the end seems distant. Every step toward higher ground requires a tenacity and determination that keeps us moving forward, despite the obstacles that may arise. The challenges we face are not meant to stop us, they are meant to refine us, to make us stronger and more resilient. The ability to persevere through life's trials is what allows us to break free from mediocrity and reach for something greater. Perseverance is the steadfast commitment to continue, even in the face of adversity. It is easy to give up when things get difficult, especially when progress seems slow and non-existent. In these moments, it can feel as though our efforts are futile, that we are stuck in a cycle of struggle with no end in sight. But perseverance teaches us that the breakthrough often comes after the greatest pressure. Just as a diamond is formed under intense heat and pressure, so too is our character shaped and refined through the trials we face. Each challenge is a building block, helping us grow into the people we are destined to become. Without perseverance, we would never fully experience the beauty that comes from overcoming obstacles and reaching new heights. One of the most significant aspects of perseverance is the ability to maintain faith during times of difficulty. It's one thing to trust in the process when everything is going well, but it's another thing entirely to hold on to faith when everything seems to be falling apart. During these difficult moments, it's easy to question whether the journey is worth it, whether we are on the right path, or whether God is truly with us. But perseverance is rooted in trust. Trust that God's plan for us is greater than the struggles we face. When we persevere, we declare that we believe in the promises of God, even when the evidence doesn't align with our expectations. Trusting God in the midst of hardship is what allows us to keep moving forward, even when we can't see the way ahead. Furthermore, perseverance is not just about enduring hardship, it is about enduring with purpose. It's easy to passively go through the motions when things are difficult, simply waiting for the storm to pass. But true perseverance is active, requires intentional action and purpose in every step we take. We must choose to continue moving forward with intention, to keep our eyes focused on the higher ground that awaits us. Each day we must remind ourselves of our purpose, of the greater vision that God has placed within us. This purpose gives us the strength to push through the hardships and to remain steadfast in our commitment to rise above. Another key aspect of perseverance is the understanding that setbacks and failures are not the end, but part of the journey. We may encounter moments where we stumble, where we fall, or where we experience rejection or disappointment. These setbacks are inevitable, but they are not insurmountable. True perseverance is not about being perfect. It's about getting back up every time we fall and continuing to press forward. The most successful people are not those who never fail, but those who fail and keep going. In fact, failure is often a stepping stone to greater success, as it teaches us valuable lessons, strengthens our resolve, and reveals areas where we can improve. With each setback, we become more equipped for the journey ahead. Perseverance also requires patience. We live in a world that is often impatient and focused on instant gratification. We want results now, and we want success to come quickly. However, the journey higher ground is not always immediate, and there are times when we must wait. Waiting does not mean inaction. It means trusting that God is working in the background, preparing us for what is to come. During the waiting period, we must remain diligent, continue to grow, and maintain our focus on the end goal. Patience is an essential aspect of perseverance because it allows us to remain steady in the face of uncertainty and to trust that the outcome will be worth the wait. Perseverance is what enables us to fulfill the destiny that God has set before us. Higher ground is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who are willing to endure, to keep moving forward, and to trust in the process no matter how long it takes or how difficult the road may seem. When we persevere, we declare that we are not defined by our setbacks, that we are not defeated by our struggles, and that we will continue pressing on until we reach the place where we are meant to be. The road may be long and the climb may be steep, but perseverance ensures that we will reach the summit. And when we do, we will stand on higher ground, ready to embrace the fullness of the life we were created for. As we pursue higher ground, it's important to understand that the journey is not one we make alone. In fact, the support of others plays a vital role in our ability to reach greater heights. Relationships, community, and mentorship are all essential elements in the process of moving forward and upward. No one achieves greatness in isolation. We are all part of a larger network of individuals, each playing a role in helping us realize our full potential. It is through the encouragement, guidance, and strength of those around us that we are often able to push beyond our limits and break through the barriers that might otherwise hold us back. The support of others serves as a source of motivation, reminding us that we are not in this journey alone. Life can be difficult, and there are times when we feel weary, discouraged, or overwhelmed by the obstacles in front of us. It is during these times that the encouragement and affirmation of those around us become crucial. A kind word, a listening ear, or a prayer offered in support can make all the difference in our ability to persevere. When we are surrounded by people who believe in us, who are committed to our success, we are reminded of our own strength and ability to overcome. These relationships serve as a safety net, catching us when we fall and lifting us when we are down. In addition to encouragement, mentorship plays a significant role in guiding us toward higher ground. A mentor is someone who has walked the path before us and can offer wisdom, advice, and insight based on their own experiences. Mentors provide a sense of direction, helping us navigate challenges, avoid pitfalls, and make better decisions. They help us see the bigger picture, offering perspective when we are too close to the situation to see it clearly. A mentor can offer valuable guidance on both personal and professional matters, helping us to grow and develop in ways we may not have considered on our own. They challenge us to push past our limitations and provide the accountability we need to stay on track toward our goals. But mentorship is not limited to one individual. We all benefit from the influence of multiple people in our lives. These may include family members, friends, colleagues, or members of our faith community. Each person we encounter has something unique to offer, whether it's a lesson in perseverance, a demonstration of faith, or an example of kindness and generosity. As we move toward higher ground, we must remain open to the influence and support of those around us. We must be willing to learn from others and to surround ourselves with people who inspire, challenge, and uplift us. Community also plays an important role in providing accountability and a sense of belonging. When we are part of a supportive community, we are less likely to become isolated or discouraged. A community provides the structure and encouragement we need to stay committed to our goals, and it reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Whether it's a group of people who share similar values, a network of professionals who offer advice, or a church of faith community that prays for our success, community provides the foundation for growth and progress. It is through community that we find strength, wisdom, and the motivation to keep pressing forward, even when the journey feels long. As we seek support and mentorship from others, it is equally important to recognize that we must also be willing to give back. The relationships we build are reciprocal in nature. As we receive support and guidance from others, we must also be willing to offer the same to those around us. The higher ground we seek is not just for ourselves, it is for the benefit of others as well. When we reach a place of strength and success, it is our responsibility to lift others up, to share the wisdom we have gained, and to offer encouragement and mentorship to those who are on their own journey. By doing so, we not only help others rise, but also create a cycle of growth and support that benefits everyone involved. The power of relationships and community is one of the most powerful forces in helping us reach higher ground. We are not meant to walk this journey alone. We are meant to walk it together, supporting, guiding, and lifting one another up as we surround ourselves with positive, encouraging, and wise individuals. We are empowered to move beyond our limitations and rise to the heights that God has prepared for us. The strength of these relationships is a key component of our ability to persevere, to grow, and to achieve the life of purpose that awaits us. Through the support and mentorship of others, we find the strength to reach higher and go further than we ever could on our own. One of the most transformative aspects of moving to higher ground is the ability to build and maintain resilience. Resilience is the inner strength that allows us to recover from difficulties, adapt to change, and keep moving forward despite setbacks. It is the quality that enables us to bounce back when life knocks us down, to stand firm when everything around us seems uncertain, and to maintain our focus on the higher ground we are striving to reach. Without resilience, the challenges we face may overwhelm us and we may find ourselves stuck, unable to move forward. But when we cultivate resilience, we develop the ability to navigate through life's storms with grace, perseverance, and hope. Resilience is not something we are born with. It is something that is developed over time through our experiences. Each trial we face is an opportunity to build resilience. The difficulties we encounter, though painful in the moment, provide us with the chance to learn, grow, and become stronger. It's important to recognize that the path to higher ground is not without its struggles. But these struggles are not signs of failure. Rather, they are stepping stones, moments where we are being refined, stretched, and prepared for the greatness that lies ahead. As we face challenges and press through them, we gain the mental, emotional, and spiritual strength needed to continue on our journey. At the heart of resilience is the ability to maintain a positive mindset even in the face of adversity. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go according to plan or when obstacles seem insurmountable. During these times, we can be tempted to give up or to lose hope. But resilience requires us to shift our focus from the problem to the solution, from the obstacle to the opportunity. It means choosing to believe that there is a way forward even when the path is unclear. Resilience allows us to maintain hope and to trust that no matter how difficult the situation, there is always a way through. It helps us remember that setbacks are not permanent and that in time we will overcome and emerge stronger on the other side. Another key component of resilience is the ability to adapt to change. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and things rarely go exactly as we expect them to. Resilience teaches us to embrace change and to see it as an opportunity for growth rather than as a threat. When we resist change, we remain stuck in our current circumstances, unable to move forward. But when we embrace change with open heart and mind, we allow ourselves to grow and to evolve. This adaptability is crucial as we strive for higher ground because the journey is rarely linear or predictable. By learning to adapt, we are better equipped to handle the uncertainties that come with pursuing something greater. One of the challenges of building resilience is learning how to deal with failure. We often view failure as a sign that we are not good enough or that we have been defeated. However, failure is an essential part of the process of growth and resilience. It is through failure that we learn the most valuable lessons about ourselves, about our strengths, and about our weaknesses. Failure doesn't define us, it refines us. It teaches us humility, perseverance, and determination. Resilience allows us to view failure not as a setback, but as a learning experience, a necessary part of the journey toward higher ground. The key is to not let failure discourage us, but to use it as fuel to propel us forward. Resilience also requires self-compassion. We can be our harshest critics, especially when we fall short of our expectations. We may beat ourselves up over mistakes, or we may dwell on the things we didn't do right. But resilience teaches us to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, recognizing that we are human and imperfection is part of the process. Self-compassion allows us to forgive ourselves, to release the weight of past mistakes, and to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. When we extend grace to ourselves, we create the emotional space necessary for growth and healing. As we build resilience, it's important to remember that we do not need to go through life's challenges alone. Support from others plays a crucial role in fostering resilience. The people we surround ourselves with can provide encouragement, wisdom, and perspective when we need it most. Whether it's through a mentor, a friend, or a community, having others who believe in us and who are willing to walk alongside us can make all the difference. Resilience is not about doing everything on our own. It's about leaning on others for strength and support, while also drawing on our own inner resources. Resilience is a vital component of the journey to higher ground. It is the strength to continue, the ability to bounce back, and the courage to adapt to change. Through resilience, we learn to view challenges as opportunities, to embrace failure as a stepping stone, and to maintain hope in the face of adversity. As we build resilience, we strengthen our ability to reach higher ground and to fulfill the purpose that God has placed within us. The journey may not always be easy, but with resilience, we can face any obstacle, overcome any setback, and rise above every challenge on the path to a greater life. As we move forward in life and seek to reach higher ground, it's essential to recognize that the pursuit of a greater purpose is often intertwined with service to others. Our journey to higher ground is not just for our own benefit, but is meant to positively impact those around us. The higher we rise, the greater our responsibility becomes, not just to ourselves, but to the communities and individuals we are called to serve. Service is a powerful force that propels us forward, not only by helping others, but also by transforming our own lives in ways we may not immediately recognize. When we focus on serving others, we align ourselves with a greater purpose, and this alignment can open doors and create opportunities that we may have never imagined. Serving others requires a shift in perspective. It's easy to become focused on our own desires, goals, and struggles, especially when we are in the midst of pursuing something greater. However, when we make service a priority, we take the focus off of ourselves and place it on the needs of others. Service asks us to step outside of our comfort zones, to think beyond our own limitations, and to consider how we can contribute to the well-being of those around us. This mindset shift is not just about helping others when it is convenient. It's about making a commitment to look for ways to serve consistently, no matter the circumstances. By doing so, we not only help others, but also grow in our own character, humility, and gratitude. Service also serves as a mirror, reflecting our own growth and maturity. The more we serve, the more we begin to recognize the ways in which we have been blessed. And this awareness fosters a deeper sense of gratitude. When we serve others, we are reminded of the blessings we often take for granted. The act of giving, whether through time, resources, or emotional support, can be a humbling experience, showing us the true value of what we have and the importance of sharing it with others. It challenges us to reconsider our priorities, to evaluate what really matters, and to recognize that our own success and well-being are not truly meaningful unless they contribute to the greater good. In addition to gratitude, service also deepens our sense of purpose. Higher ground is not a destination where we simply achieve personal success. It's a place where we are equipped to fulfill the greater purposes for which we were created. We are not meant to climb higher just for the sake of climbing. We are meant to rise to a position where we can help lift others along the way. When we serve others, we become more attuned to the unique role we are meant to play in the world. Service gives us a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that surpasses any material achievement. It is through serving others that we experience the true joy of making a difference, of knowing that our lives have meaning beyond personal gain. Service opens our hearts and minds to new experiences, perspectives, and opportunities. When we serve, we step into the lives of others, often encountering their struggles, joys, and challenges in ways that broaden our own worldview. This exposure helps us develop empathy and compassion, qualities that are essential for growth and for navigating the journey to higher ground. By connecting with others and offering our help, we begin to see the world not just from our own vantage point, but through the eyes of those we serve. This broader perspective enables us to become more effective leaders, more understanding partners, and more compassionate individuals who are better equipped to contribute to the world around us. One of the most powerful aspects of service is its ability to create a ripple effect. When we serve others, we inspire them to do the same. Our actions become a model for others to follow, encouraging them to take steps toward helping and uplifting those around them. This ripple effect not only strengthens communities, but also builds a culture of kindness, generosity, and mutual support. As we serve, we create a legacy of compassion and care that extends beyond our own lives, impacting generations to come. The higher we rise, the more influence we have, and that influence can be used to create a positive change in the world. Service also challenges us to grow in our faith. When we serve others, especially in difficult or inconvenient situations, we are called to step out in faith, trusting that God will provide for our needs as we give to others. It requires a deep belief that even when we feel like we don't have enough to give, God will use our efforts to make a difference. Serving others pushes us to rely on God's strength, wisdom, and provision. It reminds us that our journey to higher ground is not solely about our own abilities or accomplishments, but about participating in God's greater work in the world. The journey to higher ground is not just about personal success, but about using that success to bless others, the pursuit of a greater purpose. The climb to higher ground is not for our own glory, but for the greater good of those around us. When we serve others, we align ourselves with the heart of God, who calls us to love our neighbors as ourselves and to care for the least among us. Service is a powerful tool that not only helps us grow and transform, but also allows us to make a meaningful impact in the lives of others. As we rise higher, we must never forget the importance of lifting others along with us, for it is in serving others that we truly find our purpose and fulfill the call to reach higher ground. As we embark on the journey to higher ground, it's crucial to remember that the pursuit of greater purpose requires us to maintain a strong sense of vision. Our vision acts as a guiding light, helping us stay focused, motivated, and aligned with our ultimate goals. Without a clear vision, it is easy to become distracted by the challenges and detours along the way. The higher ground we seek is not merely a place or destination, it is a culmination of our dreams, desires, and purpose. To get there, we must have a clear understanding of where we are going, why it matters. A vision provides direction and clarity. It gives us a sense of purpose and allows us to filter our distractions that may divert our attention. It serves as a constant reminder of the bigger picture, especially during times of struggle or uncertainty. When we encounter difficulties on the journey, our vision keeps us grounded, reminding us of the reason we started in the first place. It provides the motivation to push through hard times, knowing that the destination we are striving for is worth the effort. With a clear vision, the obstacles we face along the way no longer seem insurmountable, but are simply challenges to overcome as part of the greater journey. Having a vision also enables us to set intentional, achievable goals. Once we have a clear understanding of where we want to go, we can break down our larger vision into smaller, manageable steps. These steps provide a roadmap that helps us make progress and ensures that we are always moving forward. Each goal we accomplish brings us closer to the higher ground we seek. And with each milestone, our confidence and belief in our ability to reach our vision grows stronger. Vision gives us the ability to track our progress and see how far we've come, which is crucial for maintaining motivation along the way. It serves as both a compass and a measuring stick, helping us stay on course while also celebrating the small victories that accumulate over time. A strong vision provides resilience in the face of setbacks. When things don't go as planned, when we encounter unexpected difficulties or moments of failure, it's easy to become discouraged or lose hope. But a clear vision helps us see beyond the immediate challenges. It allows us to maintain perspective and focus on the end goal, knowing that temporary setbacks are part of the process. With vision, we can bounce back from failure and continue moving forward, knowing that every setback is simply a lesson or an opportunity for growth. Vision helps us understand that the road to higher ground is rarely smooth, but the destination makes all the struggles worthwhile. A powerful vision also has the ability to inspire others. When we are clear about our purpose and the higher ground we are striving for, we become a beacon of hope and possibility for those around us. Our vision can motivate and encourage others to pursue their own dreams and goals, showing them that a life of purpose and fulfillment is achievable. As we rise toward our higher ground, we have the opportunity to help lift others along the way, sharing our vision with them and helping them realize their own potential. In this way, our personal vision becomes part of a larger collective vision where we all rise together and support one another in our journeys. A well-defined vision provides alignment between our actions and our values. When we have a clear vision, it becomes easier to make decisions that are in line with our deeper purpose. It helps us prioritize the things that matter most, enabling us to invest our time, energy, and resources into what truly aligns with our goals. It also helps us maintain integrity, ensuring that we stay true to who we are and the values we hold dear. Without a clear vision, it's easy to become sidetracked by opportunities that don't serve our higher purpose, leading us off course. But with vision, every choice we make is purposeful and intentional, reinforcing our commitment to the higher ground we seek. In addition, a vision requires continual refinement and adaptation. As we grow and evolve, so too does our understanding of our purpose and the path to achieving it. While it's essential to have a clear vision, it's equally important to remain flexible and open to change. The journey to higher ground is not static, and new insights, experiences, and opportunities may arise that can refine or redirect our vision. A dynamic vision allows us to adapt to new circumstances while staying focused on the end goal. It empowers us to make course corrections when necessary, ensuring that we remain on the most effective path toward fulfillment and purpose. Having a vision is essential for the pursuit of higher ground because it gives us purpose, direction, and the motivation to keep going, even when the road gets tough. It provides clarity and resilience in the face of adversity, helps us set and achieve meaningful goals, and inspires those around us to do the same. A vision aligns our actions with our values, ensuring that everything we do is a step toward the life we are meant to live. The higher ground we seek is not a distant dream, but a tangible reality that can be reached when we have a clear vision to guide us along the way. It is through vision that we find the strength to rise, the wisdom to lead, and the courage to achieve everything we were created to accomplish. In conclusion, the journey to higher ground is a path of purpose, perseverance, and growth. It is not a destination reached through mere desire or chance, but through intentional steps guided by vision, resilient service, and unwavering faith. As we seek to rise higher, we must recognize that it is through challenges that we build strength, and through service that we fulfill our deeper purpose. The support of others, whether through mentorship or community, plays a vital role in our progress, reminding us that we are never truly alone on this journey. Each obstacle we face is not a roadblock, but an opportunity for growth, a refining process that prepares us for the greatness that lies ahead. Through resilience, we gain the strength to bounce back from failure, to adapt to change, and to keep moving forward despite the setbacks. Vision allows us to stay focused on our higher purpose, helping us set intentional goals and stay aligned with our values. It inspires and motivates not only ourselves, but those around us, creating a ripple effect that lifts everyone toward greater heights. Ultimately, the pursuit of higher ground is not just about personal achievement, but about fulfilling the call to make a positive impact on the world around us. As we rise, let us remember that the higher ground is not just a place of personal success, but a place where we are called to serve, inspire, and lead others. The journey is long and the road may be challenging, but with clear vision, resilience, and a heart of service, we can reach the heights we were destined to attain. And as we do, we will find that the true reward is not only the accomplishment of our dreams, but the transformation of those around us and the legacy we leave behind. Let us continue to press forward with faith, knowing that God has prepared a place for us. And with every step we take, we move closer to the higher ground He has promised.